So today I think I'm going to talk about my experience with the first generation Chevy Cruze. In my case, 2011. I own a 1.8 liter, which is the non-turbo. The more common one is going to be the 1.4 liter turbocharged. So in my experience with this car, I had to unfortunately get the transmission rebuilt at 90,000 miles. They're known to have dodgy transmissions, so if you, and that was, I used to baby that transmission. Like, I would not floor it at all. I was very gentle on it, and it still went out. And I would recommend, with those transmissions, if you got one, definitely keep up on the transmission fluid changes. Definitely want to take care of that transmission as much as you can. Another issue that I ran into, at least in my case, a lot is the purge valve kept going out, and I've replaced that purge valve probably 3 times with an OEM one. It still went out, and I kept trying to track down if there's anything else causing it to fail so much, but I couldn't. There wasn't any rhyme or reason to it. We would always make sure that we would fill up with quality fuel, at least at the quarter tank mark, so we never let it go too low. And I know that there's a PCV fix that you can do on those cars. So if you're having issues with your PCV valve, be sure to look into the Chevy Cruze PCV fix, or you can do a oil tank canister, which might help with that. But yeah, I've also replaced the valve cover on that twice, which has the integrated PCV valve into it. So anyways, otherwise it's been an alright car. It's definitely a car that if you own, you're gonna want to have a set of tools, because you're probably going to be working on it constantly. So do not get that car if you're not mechanically savvy, because you will be at the mechanic all the time for small issues popping up. Especially high mileage, you're going to run into where you're going to have a lot of oil and coolant leaks. I mean, this thing just leaks coolant and oil all over the place from every orifice. It's insane. You'll fix the leak, and then another one will pop up somewhere as those gaskets age and deteriorate. Sorry about that. So definitely, you're gonna run into that a lot. A lot of it's for coolant leaks. Could be the coolant reservoir. As that ages, it usually has cracks that form underneath of it, so you can check there. The coolant lines, the heater outlet usually has a leak once in a while. I've also had coolant leaks coming from the radiator, oil leaks, especially if you got the 1.4 liter turbo. You're going to want to check the oil cooler, which is behind the exhaust. A catalytic converter. So if you got an oil leak kind of dead center, definitely check your oil cooler, especially if you got the 1.4 liter turbo. Otherwise, I've had oil leaks come in a lot from the valve cover. The crank pulley is another one. So anyways, as these things age especially, you're going to be leaking fluids a lot, so make sure that you have a good set of YouTube tutorials and tools on you. Otherwise, this is going to nickel and dime you to death if you have to bring it to a mechanic all the time. So would I recommend the first gen Chevy Cruzes? Definitely not, unless you are mechanically savvy. If you are, you could probably get them cheap. Just realize you're going to be fixing a lot of small problems around the clock, and especially the first gens had problems with their transmissions. So my car is at 165,000 miles, and I had the transmission rebuilt built at 90,000 by a shop with a 3-year warranty on it. Obviously I'm outside of that, but I've been doing transmission fluid changes and still babying the transmission, so God only knows how much longer that will last. But and up to date, I've replaced, you know, all the other, the other coolant places it could leak from is obviously the thermostat housing, the water outlet, or the water pump, and I've replaced all those. So everything else on the car, critical components, the timing belt, I've replaced everything on there that needs to be done. Spark plugs, you name it, just all the basic core components have been replaced. So theoretically, it could last 1,000 miles if, you know, treated right, and all the oil, the leaks are addressed as they come up. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend that car to anyone. You know, that they're still abundant on the roads. I mean, they sold a lot of them because they were cheap. When I bought my car, it was brand new with like 400 miles on it for, I think this was back in like 2013 or 2012. I bought it for $15,000, which is not a lot of money, especially back then. So they're very, very cheap cars, and unfortunately that comes with problems. So you can usually tell because cheap cars have timing belts opposed to timing chains, so, and stuff like that. So they put cheap components on it, and it comes with issues as those cars age. So yeah, but if you are mechanically savvy, it might be worth it if you can get one for just a couple grand. But otherwise, yeah, that's just been my overall experience with the Chevy Cruze, and just some failure points to look out for. That's it.